Hey, Rainbow here, and welcome to my channel. And behind me I am reading an article. This one happens to be from the Federal Trade Commission itself. I read it on motorcycle.com, and it has been on a slew of different media outlets. So here's the gist of it. In the United States, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, put out a warning and basically directed Harley Davidson to kind of clean up their act, essentially what's happening with their warranties. What they're saying is, we want people to have a right to repair, because what was written into much of Harley Davidson's warranties were that if you use an independent shop to do repairs, that it could void your warranty. So the FTC is saying, no, people have a right to repair. You need to clean up your act with this. You need to clean up the verbiage, and you need to be more clear with the consumer. Now, this included parts or repairs. So this has a lot to do with aftermarket, and I know that the CEO of Vance & Hines was pretty happy about this action taken by the FTC. What the FTC is referring to is the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. And this is an act that was passed that gives consumers the right to use replacement parts and to get work done on their vehicles and anything other than the actual authorized dealers that are out there. And this is something that apparently Harley Davidson took a pretty hard stance on, putting this verbiage directly in their warranties, and that's what got them in trouble. So the FTC is really talking about four main things. The first one is that they are restricting consumer choices, which goes against FTC rules. The next item is that as a result of that, they are costing consumers more money because they are being forced, in order to maintain a warranty, to go back to the dealership, authorized service center, and not to an independent location that they want to. The next component of this is that they're actually undercutting independent dealers who want to be able to repair multiple different types of bikes, but they can't because they're not an authorized dealer. So in a way, what they're doing is they're kind of taking control of everything and saying, you will only have your bike worked on our authorized dealer, and no one else can touch it, or we're voiding your warranty, which apparently is a big violation. The next thing that they bring up is that these companies such as Harley Davidson are reducing resiliency because people rely on some of these vehicles for transportation, and in an emergent situation they need to be able to get a hold of parts, and they can't be held into one place where they can only get this part from one spot on maybe a simple repair, because it has to go to the dealer. So they have to wait for the dealer to have an opening, they have to wait for the dealer to have that part available, and it really takes away the free market where you have choices from a lot of independent dealers and a lot of aftermarket places. So what is the FTC doing about it? Well, they're going to Harley and they're saying, you must comply with these rules. Number one, they're saying, hey, you have to stop any further violations. You need to clean up the verbiage in your warranties. You need to fix your warranties so that they are compliant with United States law. The next thing is they want the dealers, they want the manufacturers to actually recognize the consumer's right to repair. So this is an actual recognition. So number one, let's fix your warranty. Number two, recognize the fact that your customers have the right to get their equipment repaired wherever they choose. And the next one, this is actually pretty big, all right? Right here, come clean with consumers. What they're saying is, you need to notify consumers that their warranties are still going to be in place, even if they choose an aftermarket part to put on. This is huge. The next thing they want is they want all of the dealers to compete fairly and to get rid of any kind of misleading advertising that they have, any misleading flyers or anything like that. They want them to start competing fairly and stop misleading customers. All right, so let's talk candidly about this. This is a really big deal. This goes back to where your you have an iPhone and your screen gets cracked and you can't just go to a screen repair place. It forces you to go to Apple only and sending it back in order to get the screen repaired. This is what it's trying to prohibit. It's the same thing with motorcycles, cars, and anything else like this. It wasn't just Harley Davidson that they had these issues with. It was also Westinghouse, where they have issues with, where they create generators and emergency power supplies and so on and so forth. So, you know, we have to then look at the other side of the coin. So the other side of the coin is this. If you're the manufacturer and you're spending millions of dollars in research and development, and you're going ahead and you're creating a product and you're meticulously designing it and making sure that all these parts have these very specific specifications. I hate that, specific specifications. It almost sounds, all right. So what's happening is there's putting all this money in, and they're saying, okay, now we got to warranty it, so we really have to build these extremely well. And now you're going to go ahead and put some aftermarket part that has no, maybe doesn't have the same quality of QA, of quality assurance, that you do with the manufacturer. And now this part may cause failure of something. So I can understand this partially from the dealer's standpoint, or not the dealers really, but from the manufacturer standpoint, because they're the ones putting all the money into R&D. They're the ones who are coordinating all these parts. But at the same time, they're going, hey, you have to use all our stuff or your warranty is over. Okay, that, I can kind of see that. So I'm a little conflicted with this, because we should have the right to repair. I should have the right to take my bike and get the oil changed somewhere else. Maybe I can't do certain things with independent dealers. For example, my Ducati Multistrada V4S. It says to change the oil every 9,000 miles. There's a Shell Advance that gets put in. It's a full synthetic. Because I'm in South Florida, it's very hot, I choose to change the oil every 4,500 miles. So what happens is every 9,000, the dealership changes it, and every 4,500, every other 4,500 in between that, I'm changing it. And the reason why I'm not changing it all the time, even though I clearly can, and I did a video about that, by the way, it's for this reason and this reason alone. I cannot reset the dash when the warning comes up telling you that you're overdue on a oil change. I can't do it, and I don't know of any independent dealers that can do that, because it's only accessed through Ducati's proprietary software, their proprietary equipment. That's it. It's the only way you can get it. So none of these other dealers have access to even reset my oil change. So it forces me to go to Ducati and spend a lot of money on a simple oil change that I can do at home for half the cost. I don't have a choice. So I do it every other, because I choose to change my oil more often, but I have no choice when I go in once that light comes on. And that, to me, I don't like. I've even asked, for example, I've asked the dealer, I said, hey, what if I buy the oil and the filter kit from you and I do it? Could I come here and give you 20 bucks and you'll just reset my light for me? The answer was no. Why? Well, because they have mechanics that need to feed their families, they need to make money, they need to pay them, and I guess one of the ways is to force you to come back, because you need that, just because you need the you need that reset. Now luckily there are no lights that come on for brakes, so I can change brake pads, but I go to the dealer and I purchase the brake pads. So this is something that I think is more on a dealer level, because I don't think Ducati is saying that I can't change my own oil, although in, all throughout their book they're clearly stating that. The difference here is that Harley Davidson is saying, if you go to an unauthorized dealer, if you go to an independent dealer and you use unauthorized parts, we're voiding your warranty. So what does that mean? If they put a slip-ons on, they're going to void a warranty on their engine because they said it wasn't properly calibrated? I don't know. I don't think it would ever come to that. If you change your air cleaner and you put a nice aftermarket air cleaner on and then you have an engine failure, are they going to blame and say, well, you put an aftermarket on, we can't do this? That's what Harley is saying in their warranty language, and that's what the FTC has to make them correct. And that's exactly what they're doing. Now, will this have repercussions to any other warranties for any other manufacturers? I don't know. So why don't we talk about that and start a discussion here below, and let's talk about warranties. Do you have issues with that? For example, I get almost everything done other than every other oil change at the dealer, and I do my own tires because, you know, come on, you're going to control tires too. But I do all that because I want records that everything I had done was done at the dealer. So if there ever is a problem in the future, I'm going to go, hey, your dealer did the work. So in order for me to feel more comfortable about a warranty that I shouldn't really be concerned about, I am making sure that I take the bike to the dealer for almost every single little thing other than tire changes, because, you know, let's get real with changing tires, okay? When it's time for me to replace my chain and sprockets, I will probably do that myself, and I will buy the product from the dealer. I will videotape me doing it. You know, I usually put it up on YouTube anyway. So let's have a discussion about this, because this is a really big deal that the FTC is stepping in, and specifically on Harley. All right? Talk amongst yourselves and let's get a good conversation going. And please like and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye-bye.